Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. Do you have an irregular income, or do you struggle making a budget every month and you overspend every month because you're not sure what you make? Well, I'm so glad you're here today because I'm going to talk about something that I'm very passionate about, and it's how to get 1 month ahead on your finances so you always know how much money that you have to budget. So I haven't worked in 13 years since giving birth to my first child. My husband has always had an irregular income because he's always had overtime, and it comes and goes depending on the time of the year or the job, but he's never made the same thing every single month. So I have come up with a system that I started years ago that got us 1 month ahead on our finances, and it has helped us so much. And I am here to talk to you about it today, and I really hope that you take this advice and do it because I'm very passionate about how much it really helps in your budgeting. One thing I do want to say is that if you are in debt, I would not do this yet, because if you are in debt, every single penny needs to go towards paying off that debt. But if you are not in debt, I highly recommend you taking this advice and getting 1 month ahead on your finances. So let's get started. Okay, what I'm about to talk about might sound complicated, but it's really not that complicated. It does take a year of somewhat sacrifice, but it will be worth it. So we get paid every week, which means 4 times a year we get an extra paycheck, when there's 5 Fridays in the month. So I do not do a weekly budget. I do a monthly budget. So the paychecks we get in February, that's what I have to spend in March. And what we make in March, that is what we'll spend in April. I can't have March and spend that in March because I don't know what I'm going to make. I don't know if my husband's going to get overtime, and I need to know exactly what I'm working with, because what if I think there might be overtime gets canceled, I already budgeted all of this money and I spent all this money and he ended up not getting the overtime at the end of the month. I can't work that way. So that's why I use what we make in February to pay for March, what we make in March to pay for April. And I am going to explain exactly how I got us able to do this and be 1 month ahead in our finances. So I'm going to get some piece of paper and we're going to talk about how to do that. Okay, now I'm going to try to explain how to get ahead on your finances. You technically have to give up your extra paycheck for 1 year, but it'll be totally worth it. So I hope this makes sense. This is a 2026 calendar. We're going to pretend that we are starting in January. So we are going to use the first 4 paychecks in January as January's budget. And since January starts off with a 5th Friday, we're going to take the last paycheck in January and the first 3 paychecks in February. That's what you're going to spend in February. Then your 4th paycheck in February and your first 3 paychecks in March. That's what you're going to spend in March. Your 4th paycheck in March and your first 3 paychecks in April, that's what you're going to spend in April. Your 4th paycheck in April and your first 3 paychecks in May, that's what you're going to have to spend in May. Now you're 2 weeks ahead. The last 2 paychecks in May and the first 2 paychecks in June are what you're going to have to spend in June. The last 2 paychecks in June and the first 2 paychecks in July, that's what you have to spend in July. So we're getting close to being ahead now. The last 3 paychecks in July and the first paycheck in August, that's what you have to spend in August. The last 3 paychecks in August and the first paycheck in September, that's what you have to spend in September. The last 3 paychecks in September and the first paycheck in October is what you have to spend in October. We are now 1 month ahead in our budget. Because as you can see, the last 4 paychecks in October is what you're gonna spend in November. Then all your paychecks in November is what you're gonna spend in December. All the paychecks in December is what you're going to spend in January. You are now 1 month ahead in your finances. You will know a month ahead of time, well, technically 3 or 4 days ahead of time, exactly what your budget is for the next month. This will be amazing. Trust me, it is a peace of mind to do your budget this way. And from then on, you get to keep your extra paycheck and spend it or save it however you want, whatever fits in your budget, whatever your goals are. I hope this made sense. So this also works if you get paid twice a month. It's just gonna take 2 years instead of 1 year to get 1 month ahead in your finances, because you only get an extra paycheck twice a year instead of 4 times a year. But it will still work. It's just a little bit longer of a sacrifice. I hope this makes sense to you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will try to do my best to answer them and make it more clear of anything that I have said. Like I said, I'm very passionate about budgeting this way, and I've done this for years and it's worked really well for us. It gives me peace of mind to know what I have to spend each month without a doubt, because it's in my bank account. I also recommend using the Dave Ramsey's free budgeting app, Every Dollar. There is a paid version, but you don't need that. I've never used it. I only use the free version, but it really helps you be able to budget and see where all your money is going. And like I said, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. If you like this video, then give me a like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.